Welcome back to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Thanks for joining us again. Hopefully you're enjoying this. And if you are, we just ask you to join patreon.com/Talkville. Support the show. Without our patrons, we could not do this show. And you also could be a guest on Talkville. And there's a lot of other perks and discussions. People love Patreon. TalkvillePodcast.com for all the Talkville Smallville merch. And Inside of You online store for Lexmas scripts, ship keys, and Smallville lunch boxes, tumblers, all that stuff too. And if you want to know what cons we're going at or live podcasts, please go to my Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum. Go to my link tree. It has everything there for you. Also, if you didn't get a chance to call into our hotline, leave a question for this episode, make sure you do it for future ones. All that and more is down in the show's description. Write a review, do all that stuff. We've got an episode here for you. Without further ado, let's get into season 4, episode 18. Season's almost over. This is called Spirit.
Would you have liked this episode better if you hadn't watched it back to back with the previous episode?
Yeah, I didn't hate it though. You're coming from you're going for the sublime to the ridiculous. So it's it's what it is. But I didn't hate it. I didn't completely shart on the show. The title was Spirit, aired April 20th, 2005. Whitney Rancic, director. He was a sweet guy. First episode, he directed 10 in total. Writers Luke Skelhaus. Final episode written. Guest star Beatrice Rosen as Dawn Stiles. Camille Mitchell as Sheriff Nancy Adams. Candace McClure as Harmony. Bud the dog as Shelby. Synopsis. Tensions run high as Smallville prepares for its senior prom while dealing with a string of murderous possessions.
Did you go to your senior prom?
No, I didn't go to one high school dance. Nothing.
Ryan?
I did.
Did you go to prom when you weren't a senior? Like, did you date someone older or?
No, I did junior prom
I never went to
with a date. Senior prom, I did not go.
Never had a date. Never had a girlfriend. Parents wouldn't give me any money to buy nice clothes. It wasn't in the cards for me.
We had this funny thing at the high school that I've ended up going to for my senior year where nobody went to prom, but everybody told their parents they were going to prom. Everybody went through the whole thing, but I think like 15 people showed up to prom and we all went to a party instead.
So weird.
Nobody went to prom, but everybody got their pictures. They got the limos, they did the whole thing, but it was like the cool thing not to go to prom. So,
jeez. Yeah, my parents were such dicks. They never brought it up. They never said, hey, we'll get you a limo. Hey, we'll do this. Hey, it was not like nothing. Like just never cared, never talked about it, never asked if I wanted to go. I did remember I had this girl that was going to go and then she got in trouble with the law and then she couldn't go. And her name was Kim. Yeah, she got in trouble or something and then she couldn't go to, and
do you remember what it was?
No. So I almost went.
Was it check fraud?
This episode opens amongst disco balls at prom as we see the small school in Kansas getting serenaded by Lifehouse. Real big in 2005. Away from the dance in the halls, we see Chloe Sullivan break into the emergency case to grab the fire axe. As she leaves, she's interrupted by Jonathan Kent, who gets punched by her down the staircase.
Poor John.
Just a bummer. Chloe heads to the boiler room and busts open an oil line to complete her Carrie moment. She heads towards the furnace in an attempt to burn the school down. Now that's what I call a torch, is what she says. That is the only line of dialogue that is not Lifehouse singing in the opening.
That might be Ryan's favorite scene when she says that, but did anyone else notice this is the fastest opening ever before credits?
Yeah. I was just like, what the hell is she doing? What episode is this? Well, this is how we start it.
Well, you knew something was up.
I knew something was up because they showed what was up. But I was like, okay, now we have to find this out. I didn't like that.
You don't like that story, that kind of storytelling.
No, it just was so phony. It was like, come on. But it got better and more fun, I guess, as our wonderful patron Karen Apple M said.
We'll never know the answer to this, but it almost seemed like they shot the whole episode and it didn't quite have the punch they wanted. So then they took some scenes and they put it in front to try to heighten the stakes. And the other thing I'll say is, as Martha Kent's driving her truck down the road, I think she's going about 11 miles an hour. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think they needed that opening. I thought they should have just gotten into it. But you need an opening, I guess. I don't know.
They tried to do something creative with it. Like there was no
Yeah.
dialogue. There was like, what the hell's going on?
It was kind of like
we're
a
gonna figure
Breaking
it out.
Bad moment where you see what happens. You have to see how we get there.
It was like,
Okay.
I'm calling Al. I'm calling Al.
all right.
He's filming right now. He's filming Wednesday, I think.
All right, we flash back to a day before and see Lana and Chloe walking through the halls discussing her hit piece on prom royalty, Dawn Styles. Chloe asks why Lana won't be going to with her fired coach boyfriend and then suggests they go stag to prom. Dawn and her minions, who of course we've never seen before, storm the halls and threaten Chloe for her harsh article. Shortly after Chloe finds out she's nominated for prom queen. Mean Girls.
Like these
had come out
girls
the
weren't
summer
at football
before.
games. Who are these girls?
Yeah, so you meet these new people that have been in the school and they're just like, oh, hey, like I know you. But you never, whatever.
Mean Girls did it better.
I guess. Over at Luthor Mansion, we see Lex Luthor being accompanied by men in black as they observe a dead body found on the premises. Jason arrives shocked, and we learn that the body is Bridget Crosby. This kind of feels lame, right? I mean, like they hyped her up as this kingpin to the Swan Foundation and being involved with Lionel, and they just kill the character off. Her leg sticks up in the air.
No. There's also another thing.
Yeah.
It also came up a couple episodes ago where someone tried to track her down and she never existed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was all a farce, so to speak. And now we have this body. And I don't think in the episode, Ryan, you're better at this than I am. I don't think we ever there's no follow-up to this scenario.
No, it's like, I think this is what you were talking about earlier, where they knew they didn't have Jensen, so they had to work that storyline fast.
Yeah.
When I yelled at the guards, did you hear me go, Lally? I say Lally, and someone, so I think I say Lally, yeah.
That's funny.
Do you remember doing that on purpose?
Yeah,
or on the day?
My best friend Tom Lally, yeah.
I know who he is, but did you like?
I'm gonna go. I yelled out their names. Yeah,
Call them Lally.
I said Lally.
There you go, Tom. Back in the more serious storyline, Chloe heads into the torch and gets razzed by Clark for her nomination. Clark contemplates sitting at home during prom, and Chloe objects to his complacency, telling him his future holds a lot more than he gives credit towards.
Wait, can I just jump into this again? And maybe this is my own little background. Michael, when you didn't have a date and you couldn't go to prom, was your reaction, I'm just going to stay at home and sulk, or did you find something else to do? Did you watch horror movies with some other friends? Like, what did you do?
I think I was just alone in my room, just watching horror movies. I swear to God, I think that's what I was doing. I used to take my parents' VCR from downstairs, bring it upstairs to my VCR, and copy horror movies that I'd rented. And so I would just sit in my room watching these movies, and that's
I'll
what
let
I
the
did
FBI
for
know.
prom. Here. Continue on, Ryan.
Over in the Talon, Dawn and her squad are planning their prom itinerary when they see her boyfriend, Billy Durden. We all remember Billy Durden, don't we?
No.
We don't.
He played the same character who gets his ass kicked by the invisible guy in Shimmer in season 1, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was happy to see that he got past that, and now he's like still going on.
Yeah, good for you.
And now he's hitting on freshmen. Blech.
Yeah.
Billy gets confronted and responds by breaking up with Don, making him yesterday's mystery meat.
Dawn leaves the Talon to scope out her new suitor to be prom king. And she's driving and talking on the phone. She picks out Clark Kent, but before she can get his digits, she sends it off a cliff and absolutely ragdolls down a ravine. That was awesome, and it kept going. But luckily, her corpse gets ejected from the car amongst exposed kryptonite rocks in the forest floor. Good Lord.
This was so much.
Well, would love to have been a fly on the wall in the writer's room, hearing them pitch ideas and how this one got concocted.
It went off the rails.
Her car goes down, and then she falls out of the car, and there's kryptonite rock, and that automatically gives her this ability to...
I wish I was a fly on the wall when they filmed that truck falling. I think it went a lot better than they expected.
Dude, that was dope.
That's what made it like the lead up to it so fucking weird.
I know.
Because like it was like contrived. She's like, all right, I'm gonna look up for my new okay, she's reading the yearbook in the car. That's one. And then two, then she gets on the phone to call a friend. I'm like, okay, that's another thing leading up to this. And then she's like, okay, now I'm gonna write down the number that this person on the phone has given me. Like there was so much weird, unnecessary, unsafe lead up to it. And then, but yeah, the car worked so well was like, this is too violent for what the lead
It's
up
too
to this
violent.
just
It's like
was.
a horror movie. And by the way, 95% of driving scenes is in Smallville. They get distracted and go off the road or flip or
the
some
second
shit.
you see anyone in a car, you're anticipating a crash. I will say, like, I forget what episode it is, but we blew up a house on Smallville once, and I think we already did this, and I remember when they blew up the house, I was nowhere near it on purpose. I was just like a mile and a half away back at the trailers because I wasn't in the scene. I'd taken my rest, whatever. And I remember seeing the guy when the house blew up and talking to the guy who hit the button. I go, how'd it go? And he goes, better than we thought. Like, it was like,
That's
they
amazing.
did it.
That night, Dawn leaves the conveniently lit forest. She tries to flag down a nearby driver. Martha can't. Even though Dawn can see her, Martha doesn't seem to see Dawn as she's driving 11 miles an hour.
At 12 miles an hour.
As Martha prepares to hit her second child in the series, Dawn embraces for impact, but instead morphs through the car and her spirit zaps into the body of Martha Kent, possessing her. Clark arrives home that night to every teenage boy's embarrassment, his mother jamming out in the middle of the kitchen. As Martha serves ice cream for dinner, she begins to talk about her plans for prom. As Lois comes down the stairs, questioning turns towards their relationship, and Martha excuses everything away by being super pumped about prom. Annette's eye-rolling mannerisms, hilarious, full commit. She ordered me to look at her. I couldn't keep my eyes off of her. She just did it. She went into this character and she nailed it. And it was freaking her eye rolling when she's like, oh.
So good.
So good, man. I mean, you give that woman anything and she turns it into gold.
Yeah, what I liked is she was the ice cream she was holding was called Smallville Dairy, which I'm like, does that come from the Kent farm? Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe it's interesting things of notes.
Ryan,
you got the cows. Yeah.
I'm sure there must have been some sort of meeting where between the 3 or 4 actors who played this spirited character, obviously they all did the ear thing, which is, the indicating thing. But
it was just one.
To a different
it was just
level.
Dawn's character. They were all mimicking Dawn.
That's what I mean. That's the spirited character. But then later we'll find Kristen also kind of going out on a limb too, which I thought was
It's
great.
just was fun. That's what made the episode, is everybody committed.
Yeah, they both did. And I bet Kristen loved doing that too, because she likes playing
She likes playing.
Yeah.
Goofy.
Martha heads to the Talon, where she works, obvi, to close up shop. As she walks in, she overhears gossip and calls a student a big fat hoe before turning her attention to Lana for being too good for prom. Lana tries to leave, but Martha reaches out for her. In doing so, Dawn jumps bodies from Martha to Lana.
There was a scary movie years ago where a guy gets out of prison and starts tapping people and jumping bodies. I forget what that was, but it was super scary.
Clark walks into the Talon, so Lana decides to ask him to prom. Regardless of her relationship with Jason, Clark is confused but seems willing. He gets a little suspicious when Lana leaves and says, "Laters."
Yeah.
Just like his mother did in the scene before.
Kind of doesn't make sense. If Dawn's whole ego is around being seen and going to prom, then her going as someone else won't garner the same attention as her going as herself. The motive doesn't make sense.
She only wants to win. It doesn't matter, and she'll figure out a way to do it.
Yeah, I guess I suspect
that is established earlier. Whatever it takes to get there.
Yep. Lana heads back to Smallville, micromanaging the decorations for prom. Dawn's friend Harmony tells Lana she's doing a good impersonation of the controlling biatch. Upset after learning what her friends really think of her, Dawn goes to meet up with Billy, where she again learns the hard truth about how her ex couldn't stand to be with her. As Billy hits the locker room, Dawn rips a cord, exposing a live electrical wire, and follows after him. Ryan?
This was a lot.
Yeah.
Clark shows up to campus looking for Lana, even though she told him laters. After noticing the power go out, he super speeds into the locker room and finds Dawn Lana electrocuting Billy through the metal lockers. She leaves the scene and body swaps through the halls to avoid Clark catching her.
Did it occur to anyone else when he turns to Lana whether or not he had any clothes on at all? Because you don't see it. It's not till he hits the ground where he has the towel on.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, I thought Lana saw dong. Long duck dong. Lana reconnects with Chloe and the Torch to find out what's going on. Chloe says that she's been acting very Dawnish, so she thinks we can chalk up the attempted murder to the comatose girl. The group heads to Smallville Medical to figure out what's going on with the body-swapping bee. They're joined by Dawn Harmony, who shows up to learn about Dawn's gross, disfigured face. She body swaps into a nurse who snuffs out Dawn and then uses great bedside manners to inform her classmates of her death. I mean, it was just like a shit show.
So, yes, so she... Oh, God. All right, hold on. Just to recap.
Do you really need to think about this?
She's body swapped into her friend and is upset that her actual body is going to be totally super ugly now. And so she body swaps into a nurse so that she can lethally inject her old body and then continue on from there.
Yeah, she doesn't want to live. She doesn't want to live in that body.
Over in Luthor Mansion, we see Jason breaking into the highly encrypted Luthor Corp security system to read Lex's emails. He sees correspondence with Bridget Crosby, but gets interrupted by Lex. Jason asks why Bridget was coming to meet the day of the murder about the mystery. Lex tells Jason he doesn't want to get involved in another murder accusation this season, and Jason decides to pay a visit to Sheriff. Look, next time you decide to find a dead body, have a dead body. Lex claims that he cares about security and privacy, but his username is Lex Luthor. This is interesting. What we learn later in the episode, why does Jason try to read his emails? I don't know. The next day at Smallville Medical, we see Lois sharing her issues with our healthcare system as she complains about her allergist bill, which is freaking stupid. She gets interrupted by Dawn, possessed nurse, who is looking for her next body. I mean, this just kept going, and it was... I kind of had fun with it, but, you have to suspend all disbelief.
I mean, you just kind of have to assume that the actors are enjoying inheriting this person.
Yeah, and the kids watch, and people probably enjoyed this.
Next, in a very bass-awkward set of circumstances, we see Clark sending off his parents to go attend his senior prom while he sits at home. Martha gives him advice and a tux.
There's a interesting choice here by Mr. Schneider, where choosing to tie a tie during a scene
is not easy.
Is really stressful.
I had to do it once, and it was one take.
It's real. Yeah.
I just wanted to get it. It's really stressful.
It's a timing thing for all the shots and all the other actors. You're putting everybody else in your timeline.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to tie a tie.
They wanted him to do it, though. So, they could have easily cut to like a close-up where it's already done. But
Martha gives him advice and a tux, and Lois comes down the stairs in a red dress ready for Clark to take her to the dance. Later that night over Luthor Mansion, Jason the Rat brings the sheriff to where the body was found. However, it's completely missing, and a gazebo is built over it. What's more, there's no record that Bridget Crosby ever existed.
What?
I was just disappointed. I feel like all three scenes were taken from a different episode and placed here because nobody else has any reference to it. I was disappointed.
Nobody.
As the sheriff drives off, we see Jason making a call to his mother, alluding to the idea that he was the one who killed Bridget and had Lex clean up his dirty work. I didn't care for this.
No.
He did allow his Texan accent to come out. That's for sure.
Oh boy.
All of a sudden.
What are you going to do, folks? What are you going to do?
Back at Smallville, we get to see what we were finally waiting for. Lex Luthor on the drums accompanying Lifehouse at prom. Did you see that? drummer was baldy.
Ah. Good one, Bryce.
I'm going to say it. I liked Lifehouse. I like their old stuff better.
Yeah.
Hanging by a Moment slaps. Amidst the commotion, Chloe meets up with Clark and they reminisce about their last dance together, freshman year when the tornado wiped out the town in Tempest. Chloe is shocked to see her college cousin and even more shocked when she finds out she won prom queen.
Yes. And Dawn body swaps into Chloe to accept the award, gives a shout out to Dawn Styles, and finally Clark realizes what's going on. After this, we're caught up to what we saw in the Carrie-like cold opening. Jonathan gets cold cocked, the school becomes a ticking time bomb, and Clark Kent springs into action. However, once he stops the fire, Chloe body swaps with him, and then Clark tells Chloe, "The crown's mine, bitch," and proceeds to try and ignite the school. This only gets stopped when Clark mastermind plan comes full circle and Jonathan shows up in the boiler room with kryptonite to weaken his bitchy son. Not only does the kryptonite weaken Clark and allow Chloe to learn his weakness, but it allows Jonathan to exorcise the demons. Exorcise the demons. It is the power of Christ that compels you. And they expel Dawn's spirit from his body. This is cool. Felt like the smartest rescue plan that Clark has come up with in the series.
The only person who disliked this episode more than you, Michael,
I didn't hate
was
it.
Lois. No, but Lois is like, the whole time she's just shitting on it. It's amazing.
Oh, God.
Wait, but I laughed out loud when Tom said, the crown's mine, bitch.
I mean,
I do remember that not being easy to say to her face because I don't think of her that way, but that's the acting
you
part,
have
I
to
guess.
act, damn it. You must act.
I was so shocked when that came out of your mouth. I was like, because I didn't think the body swap worked. And then you said that. I was like, oh my God, it did. Oh my God, Tom just said that.
Tom, can you say that line now?
No.
All right.
It's you and me and all other people. Clark and Lois reconvene at the dance. He catches Lana walking in and asks her to dance. Lois goes to talk with Chloe, reassuring her that she will leave the small town behind and be a big shot reporter in Metropolis. But Chloe tells her that Clark is the one who is destined for greatness. The episode ends with Lana slow dancing with Clark and Jason watching from a distance.
Yep, we realize, okay, that storyline's coming to an end.
Well, it is prom.
It is prom. Huh. Closing thoughts. Jason's involvement seems more evil and less passive now. Yes, it instantly went from passive to like, whoa, now he's in with his mom and he called, the Lana Clark, will they continue? Isn't this just a redo of the season 2 Redux episode kind of? Vain cheerleader kills students. Kind of the same old song and dance, I guess. Interesting things of note. Jonathan seems completely recovered from the gunshot wound to the leg that he received from the evil Lex and Onyx.
I noticed that.
Jesse Hutch also played Troy Turner in season 1 Shimmer and in season 2's Redux. Extasia Sanders is also in season 3's Whisper and season 5's Oracle. Talkville is brought to you by Betterhelp. We talk about this all the time. The stigma is going away. It's important for us all to talk about our feelings, about our life with someone we can talk to, someone who's objective, who's a professional. So many people have done this. I've been doing this for a long time. It helps. Ryan here, well, you can't see him, but he uses BetterHelp. So many of my friends do, and it's just it works for so many people. And we all carry around different stressors, big and small. And at times we keep carrying them around rather than processing them and letting them go. When we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. Therapy from BetterHelp is helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. I know a lot of people think that. It's not for just those people. It's for all of us. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/talkville today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/talkville.
Let's just jump into this. It's our patron, and they get a patron privilege if you're a top tier, patreon.com/talkville, and we have Karen Apple M here.
Michael, what's that thing you always say when we're in Australia that you test with everybody? There's a phrase you always say.
No.
He's obsessed with nailing the nah.
You want to go outside? No.
What are you trying to say?
No.
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 He's trying to say no.
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 That's no.
But sometimes people say no. No.
Oh, nah. We go nah.
No, I've heard people say no.
Nah, we go nah. Yeah, nah.
Whatever.
Yeah, nah.
Hey,
Yeah.
so we always ask this, Karen. What made you watch Smallville? What is it about Smallville?
Oh, I just love Smallville. It's my comfort show. Ultimately what made me start was it's Clark Kent in high school. And of course, being in Australia, American high school is completely different. And so to see him in high school and then to go on further after that. And it's just, I don't know, I just love the storylines. I'm the eternal optimistic Smallville fan, so it can do no wrong. I love everything about it.
So you don't shit on the show. You don't shit on the show.
I don't shit on the show. You will never get a bomb from me.
How dare you?
So I'll never do that. And also when I rewatch, I never fast forward the opening credits. I always watch them.
Oh, interesting. I fast forward them every time as we rewatch them.
No, you can never, ever fast forward.
Where were you in your life when you found Smallville? Like at what age?
Yeah, I'm a late bloomer. I started watching Smallville in 2006 when I was 42. So I'm a late bloomer. Yes, it's mainly because I live in a country town and we had three channels and none of them showed Smallville. I had a young family. I had things going on. And then when we finally got pay TV, which is your cable, I think, same thing.
Yeah.
In 2006, they were showing Smallville. And so I got so excited I got to watch it then. So I hooked onto it in 2006. So I was a bit behind.
You look
and
great.
Watching it weekly was not enough for me. So then I got all the DVDs and I finally caught up, I think in season 5.
Karen, what did you like so much about Spirit? Let's get into it.
Okay, Spirit. I mean, you've just talked about Onyx. So Spirit coming straight after Onyx is more of your lots of fun, silly episode, I suppose. I just loved all the body swapping and Martha being Dawn Styles.
Hilarious.
I thought that was amazing. And of course, Clark Crown's mine, bitch. You know, that the sort of great quotes coming out of it. It's just a lot of fun. It was a fun episode. And of course, maybe because it highlighted your prom that you do, we have balls and in our high school, the high school ball, but it was all a prom episode.
You've never given one, like, what would you give this episode in terms of Rosenbaum rating?
Look, I just thought it was lots of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Annette's Martha being Dawn Styles. I mean, just to see her skipping around the kitchen with the ice cream and the hair behind the ear and the bobby pin and all of that. I just love. I'll give it 2 roses.
So you're saying it's almost the best episode
that's
ever?
Me.
Like, how do you do that? How do you give it 2 roses when the best episode is a 3? That's not a big...
Yeah, well, you're talking to me, and I love all Smallville. Most of my episodes are 2 roses. It's just the odd one, which would be 1. Never a heater and never a bomb.
Really?
You can't go wrong. Really.
Michael's having at the top time.
I'm having a tough time.
I think Michael probably didn't like Spirit so much. Or what about you, Ryan?
No, I didn't hate
it. And I always wondered what would have happened if Dawn had touched Lex. How would Lex have acted as Dawn Styles? Everybody else did a really good job.
Yeah, maybe he could be that evil Lex again coming on from the last episode. That could have been cool.
Yeah. After being bad Lex and then now Dawn Styles. That would have been interesting.
Dawn Styles as Lex would have fired Lifehouse and gotten Pearl Jam.
I was really happy to hear them singing. Yeah. It's you and me.
Oh, that's another thing. Lifehouse on that show, on that episode.
I did great.
Who's your favorite character besides Lex and Clark?
Oh, well, it's Lex and Clark. My favorite.
Who's your next?
I like...
Here's a tough one. How about this? I ask people this a lot at the cons.
Yeah.
Are you Lana or are you Lois? And that's a tough one.
Lois. Yeah. I was Lana right from the very start, and then when Lois started coming in, then I switched to Lois.
Yeah.
Of course. Because, that's the end game.
Karen has never given a negative comment in her life.
No. Well, not about Smallville.
Karen, how often do you cry at Smallville?
Cry? Not so much now because I rewatch it. Probably on first watches, maybe a few times, but now that we've seen it many, many times, and I watch it a lot. And I watch on a whim, like I might feel like putting on a particular episode rather than watching season after season.
I bet she's a big Supernatural fan too.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
Could not get no. I could not. I gave it a good shot.
No.
Gave it a good shot. I bought the first season DVD. I know it's terrible, but I just couldn't get into it.
Well,
I wish I did. 15 seasons would have been pretty good, but
nah, it's a lot of time wasted if you don't like something.
It's nothing on Smallville. And Smallville is something I could rewatch anytime, any episode. I'll stop what I'm doing if it's on TV, which it's not at the moment, but I would watch anytime, anything. Other TV shows, I just watch it and then that's it. I won't go back.
Are you going to come to the Smallville Con in New Jersey?
If I win one Powerball, and I'll be there for sure. But no, it's a smidge too far for me to come.
It is. It is far.
A smidge too far, sadly. Well, you should come to Australia, Manjimup, Western Australia.
Where's that near?
So,
is that near Perth?
Well, okay. Well, you know when you came to Perth, which was great, and thank you for doing that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 hours down south.
Oh.
So if you've heard of Margaret River, have you heard of Margaret River surfing?
No.
Town? No, okay. It's 3.5 hours down south.
It's all dirt roads with scorpions and kangaroos on the morning, right?
Kangaroos and emus jumping all over them. Yeah. No. Snakes. We get snakes.
Kangaroos will beat you
I'm looking
up.
this up right now.
They really will beat you up, kangaroos.
They can do, the big ones, yeah. I live on an apple orchard. We get that's why I'm Karen Apple M, and we get kangaroos in the orchard a lot.
I love it. Well, hey, listen, we love having you here. We know it's late in the night.
Yeah.
We know
it's fine. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
That was great. I really liked having her here. Now it's time for the hotline.
Talkville.
We're going to start with patron privilege. We're going to go to Garrett W. Garrett, what you got for us? Garrett.
It's me
Hey there,
and
this
you.
is Garrett W. from Wisconsin. Tom, what was it like acting across from Annette when she was acting like a teenager, Don Styles? I bet it was hilarious to film, and I doubt it took one take to get that done. If it did, congrats, but thank you.
I don't remember how many takes, but it was wonderful because you just get to be there. It's the simplest thing ever because sometimes actors on the other side aren't really doing what this story's calling for, and you have to kind of, I don't know, falsify what you're doing. But with Annette, I mean, watching her dance with that ice cream, I'm just like, what?
She went nuts. I just I loved it. Aaron, what do you got?
Hello, my name is Erin Andrew from Pittsburgh, PA. My question's for Michael, Tom, and Ryan. It was so fun to see each actor's portrayal of Dawn Styles, the want-to-be prom queen.
And then she says, which one, it cut off, but she says, which one is your favorite? I'd say Annette O'Toole.
Annette,
for sure.
Annette followed by Clark and Lana.
Hi, this is Katie Lepak from Denver, Colorado. Clark and Lana dancing to you and me is my favorite scene and inspired me to use it for my reverse anniversary dance in my wedding in fall of 2022. Reverse anniversary dancing is starting with no one on the dance floor and having everyone slowly come in from smallest amount of years married to the largest, so the dance floor is packed for dancing when the song is over. Giving a shout out to that favorite scene. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Well, thank you.
That's nice.
That's very nice. Mark?
Hi, my name is Mark from Maryland. The air date of this episode was April 20th, 2005. Being class of 2005 myself, it felt like watching Clark go through prom and graduation while I was getting ready for mine that our future was about to start. Like Clark and I had the same connection. Do you think it was a coincidence that the prom and graduation episodes aired close to the graduating class of that year? Love the podcast and keep it up.
It was inevitable. I mean, that's but yes, it could have aired like in the fall, but they made it, timing it to the end of the season, and it worked out.
TV seasons just go in line with the school year. That's just the way they start and end.
Yeah, that's true. Fall to spring.
Yeah.
Hey guys, John Luke here, lifelong fan. I'm watching season 4, episode 18 Spirit, and I just saw Clark say that he's not going to go to prom. I know he eventually does, but I think watching this for the first time since high school, this is actually what convinced me not to go to my prom, because I was in love with the girl that was going with her boyfriend. So I just want to thank you for that, and hope you guys are doing well. All right, thanks. Bye.
Oh man,
that's sad, but hell with her. I'm sure you got somebody wonderful and great now.
Or maybe they broke up and then she got with him and now they're happy.
Yeah,
but
he's going to call back and be like, actually, what happened was
actually. Actually, I'm twice divorced, and
thrice.
I hope not.
Hey, this is Amy from West Virginia. I think that even though this is sort of like a freak of the week and maybe have some like Carrie vibes or Clueless vibes, it was a pretty good episode. I really enjoyed Annette doing a really wonderful job at acting as this high school girl. But my question would be about the topography when the girl goes over the hill, and it's just, again, not Kansas topography, and they do this in several episodes, so you would think that they would think about that when making.
You're 100% right. It's flat. It's like Kansas is like, it's like Indiana. It's just, this is not mountainous regions. I mean, she went off Mount Everest.
She must have been so pissed 2 episodes ago when Clark jumps on that 18-wheeler, and in the background, it's the whole horizon is snow-capped mountains.
I know.
And pine trees, which that's not Kansas anymore.
Hey, this is Tom from Downey, California, and I was wondering, how was it like working with Lifehouse? Lifehouse was featured on Smallville quite a bit, and if you guys recall, it was on the pilot episode where Clark and Lana dance in Clark's barn. And I was wondering if you guys had any experience. Did you guys meet the band? Did you guys listen to them back in the day? I actually became a fan of Lifehouse because of Smallville. Love the podcast. Take care, guys.
Thanks, buddy. I like that one song. That's not the music I listen to, but I like You and Me, and I respect the band. He's got a great voice, and they got a good sound. Tom, are they cool? Did you meet them?
Well, I from a production level, what happens is they're very isolated from the cast. So you don't, unless you're really trying to go meet them. And I tend to not want to bother people because I don't like to be bothered. I think that's what I've learned through therapy. But a lot of times they set up the shots for the bands to come in, just like Remy Zero, and they kind of film all that, and then those guys kind of leave.
You're right. Yeah.
And then we film the rest of the cast. So I don't remember meeting any of them because I don't think we did.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, yeah, it's like there's obviously some sort of cross promotion with like the label and the studio, and
Sure.
they were pretty big at the time.
Hello, my name is
They're just
Sergio
singing the
Nunes from
recorded songs.
Massachusetts, and my question is for season 4, episode 18, Spirit. I wanted to know, Tom, me and my sister bonded over the one scene you had where you say, "The crown is mine, bitch." How do you guys keep it together when just saying hysterical lines like that? Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You know, it reminds me of a lot of scenes I had with Michael too, where we had to say these things to each other. And a lot of times what happens is in the blocking, you kind of get all that laughter out. And then you're really there for the other hopefully you're there for the other actor to support them and being in the moment to allow them to say these abnormal things to you and they're not talking to you, they're talking to your character. And hopefully you know that as an actor, because otherwise it can get a little awkward. But yeah.
International folks, this doesn't have a name. I don't know why Bryce didn't put a name, but they said, I believe it has been mentioned that the murder of Bridget Crosby by Jason Teague was not what the writers had originally planned. It was partly due to Margot Kidder not returning to the show. Do you think that's the reason why the sudden personality change with Jason in the episode, which has always confused me and everyone else around me? We don't know. We don't know. Maybe I can, should we call Al?
Right. No.
Hey.
Al, you're on Talkville.
Okay. I'm in a cab in New York City.
Oh, nice. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Trying not to shit on the show.
So there was this one scene.
I think it's hard for you, Michael.
No. Well, listen, what was the reason behind Bridget Crosby and Margot Kidder not coming back? I mean, in the whole Jason Teague thing moved forward, is it because you couldn't get her? Is that why you had to speed up the story?
It became about us. It became scheduling with Margot. So it was hard to, a lot of these things become logistics, and we couldn't get her to Vancouver. So that's what it was. So.
And Jensen was already filming Supernatural.
I remember early in season 4, like, why was it Margot Kidder? The plan was Chris was going to do that, but then of course he sadly passed away, and I called and asked him, and he said he told me, he goes, I'm not doing well, and I don't think I can get to Canada. He goes, I'd love to, and we were planning to maybe go to New York, and then he passed away. So,
oh man!
So then then we reached out to Margot, but then she didn't live I forgot where she lived. It was like Idaho or something. It was very logistically
difficult
to get her back. Yeah. We got her once and then we kind of couldn't get her back.
Do you guys think that you dropped the ball maybe a little bit, or like you aren't happy where the Jason Teague story went?
Well, let me tell you, I'll tell you another interesting story. So we got a call. I don't know what episode you all are on, but we got a call probably 2/3 of the way through the season from David Nutter saying, I love Jensen. I want him in my pilot for this show, Supernatural. And so we, of course, we're going to let him do that. So, but in order to do that, he had to finish. There were several episodes he couldn't be in because he was shooting that pilot. And then he came back, and then we knew, like, okay, and we said to Jensen, we have a 1 season arc for your character. If it's going great, we'll talk about it later. But then, of course, you got Supernatural. The rest is history. And so I don't love the season 4 Crystal storyline. Just in hindsight, I know why we did it. I think where it gets to is fantastic, and it totally set the table for season 5, which I think is probably, for my money, our strongest season, because we were kind of going for broke at that point. We didn't know if we were gonna, and we can talk about that when you get to season 5, but I think season 4, I think the Crystal kind of Lana witch story, it's a bit much. I think we also discovered, like, mixing magic and superpower is not really what we do well as a show.
Yeah.
So I think what we ultimately were trying to do is kind of, artfully thread that needle, and knowing that the payoff at the end of the season was going to be great.
Well, that makes more sense. That makes a lot of sense now that you say that. And I know that you didn't have a lot of work to work with since Jensen had to be shot out. And
it was like Jensen he couldn't available. Margot wasn't, so some, and these are the things when you're doing a 22 episode show that just happen and you got to roll with the punches. So you kind of try to move with, with the circumstances and kind of make the best of it. And, look, sometimes it works out, and sometimes you're like, oh, okay, that happened. And then you move on to next week. So that's, I think, what what you always try to do with any TV show. So,
well, we appreciate it, man. We just got through Onyx, which we all loved. And then we watched.
Oh, Onyx is great.
Yeah, that was incredible. And Spirit, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was kind of, when they,
which one?
It's when the cheerleader keeps touching everybody and they become.
Oh, yeah. It's our remember the Denzel movie Fallen? Is that the thing where it jumps from?
That's it.
Yeah. Fallen.
Yeah. Fallen.
That movie was great.
It was kind of fun though. I mean, I didn't hate it.
No, here's the thing that our show did well. And Frank, look, there are times we went to that well too many times, but personality switching was always worked. It was always fun. You guys always did a great job playing, like, and obviously I think the best one was and I think it was this season 4 as well, was Clark and Lionel, and then obviously Big Secrets came out of that episode. So when you do that and it really works, I think it's great, but I think even Onyx and like Red, when the idea of, certain things, changing people's personalities was always something that was fun. And it's something I think the show did well. May have done it a little much at some points, but it was something we always, I think, as a series, did well.
Please tell Al that Transference is my favorite episode I ever did.
Tom's favorite. Yeah. It's great. And Tom's great at it. I remember John Glover came to us after that when he was filming it. He goes, I didn't appreciate how good Tom was until I had to be him, and just the ability to be still, he said, which he as an actor found very hard to do. So I think he said it was a great lesson for him, because that stillness that Tom has in scenes where he can listen and just take it in and you see it on his face. He goes, that is not the kind of actor John was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he really appreciated what Tom, I think he gave him obviously a better appreciation of Tom. And also, I think for him, he as always, because he always took acting classes. He took it as an acting challenge. So
yeah, absolutely.
it was good.
Well, yeah. Tom has he likes to take it in. Hey, Al, we love you. Thanks for talking to us. And you're going to shoot Wednesday soon, right? You guys are shooting soon?
We are shooting soon. So,
all right, buddy.
So
well,
excited.
All my best thoughts and wishes to you, the shoot and continued success. And I'll shout at you when you're back home. Give me a ring. We'll go get lunch.
All right. Always great to talk to you guys.
All right, man. Bye.
Thanks, Al.
There you go. All right. Rosenbaum rating system. Great. Ryan, what do you give it?
0.5.
Rosenbaum. Half a rose. Tom.
1.
I'll give it a half a rose. Not bad. Death and save count 2 dead. Bridget Crosby, Dawn Stiles 2 saved. Clark saves Billy. Jonathan saves the school with Clark. Through 18 episodes, 14 dead, 37 saved. Series 106 dead, 140 saved. Ryan's favorite scene. Ryan's favorite scene.
It's not the dead body. It's not finding the dead body. I know that.
That almost felt like a different show getting spliced in. You know what I mean?
It was totally.
It was weird. It was
strange.
Weird.
Totally. It was weird.
All right. Scene 1, the cold open, where we don't know what's going on. Scene 2, teenage Martha. Scene 3, the crown's mine, bitch.
I'm going to say teenage Martha.
I'm going to say crown's mine, bitch.
It was teenage Martha.
Yes.
It had to be.
Teenage Martha, bitch.
It was a better scene. You picked a scene and you did. I know you did.
Yeah.
I know.
That's it for the episode. Stick around next week as we'll fill time and talk about season 4, episode 19 blank. Let us know your thoughts on the episode over on our socials at Talkville Podcast, Talkville Pod. Please join Patreon and help the podcast out. Patreon.com/Talkville. And more information is in the show's description, hotline, all that stuff. Inside You Online store. It's all on my Instagram, Linktree, live pods, cons, cameos, all that stuff. Meet me and Tom, hang with us. We're doing some cons this year. And
remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville.
Can't forget our patron shout outs. We love you guys. And patreon.com/Talkville. Thanks for supporting us. Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, Thomas, Tom Turner, Shane W, Sophie M, Betsy D, Abby P, Raya H, Karen Apple M, 99 more, Lalani and Brett G. Always hold on to Smallville, Estevan G, Garrett W, Bob K, Kimberly L, Tom N, Jason W, Osama A, Glenda P, Lana Rhymes with Banana, W, Nancy D, Brian G, Sarah W, YVR Grips, Anna M, Amanda R, Teddy127, Michael P, Ryan R, Jordan M, Randy B, Craig G, Jarrell, Heather and Greg, I made Talkville say butts, Brian H, Eric K, Kristen B, Nanine W, Stephanie K, Darth Achilles, Finky, Early is on Time, Miss Charles Kent, damn, who's that? Jeanette B, or Jeanette E, Deadvid, General Zod, Theodore, Nathan B, Jammin J, Doug R, Carlos C, Tommy Z, Boston 68, Ken the Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Jesse C, Claire M, D Brown, Karenera M.
Wow, well done. Jules M, Eldon Supremo, Leslie V, Mick Burtz, Ginger Moose. Please remember Janice from North Carolina.
Hi.
NC, Christoph S, Michelle M, Drew, Amanda Lynn, Jessica B, Michael Kine doesn't blink, Sebastian F, Wolfie, Dak Flando.
Yeah.
Dak Flando, Steven, the grocery checker, my neighbor, Matthew and Lincoln B, Breyer, Charlene A, The Coopers, Marion Louise L, CGO, Cindy C, Shannon Fofanin, Tina A, Matt Rick, Jen T, thank you for being on the show later, couple episodes, Randy S, Cassie B, Brad A, Felicia R, Danny Mo Mirabelle. That's Mirabelle. No, that's a fun one. JS, Mary K, Rachel D, Stephen and Nate Danger, When You're Rich, You Aren't Crazy or Eccentric, Rosenbaum fan Sammy Sherman, Carrie Ann, Patrick R, The Alexander Castle, Daryl E, Charlene A, Spicy Chicken, one of my favorites, Jenny B, Anna B, Monica T, Jeffrey K, Pink Kenobi, and Katya C.
Previously on Smallville, Matt C., Depro Sajal, and Devin, Chadwick B., Keith B., Charu, Major Paradox, the patron saint of Smallville, Libertariat, Christy H., Biagio C., Kal-El 38, Felicia B., Lady J, Mignon A, The Salty Ham, Murphy C, David L, Madison H, Mika J, Mooncloak, Tori H, and Paul the Grim G. We love you, and we'll see you next week.